Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kate Amwa. So I have been running my brand Kiya for the last 6.5, almost 7 years, and it has been a journey. I started out on YouTube and I would show how I cared for my hair, first of all my relaxed hair, then my natural hair, and then I really got into like using Ayurvedic butters, oils, powders on my hair, and I started showing how I would make the butters. I made a hair strengthening oil that grew back my edges postpartum, crazy. And those are the products that I took and initially started my brand with in September 2019. So it has been a journey. Initially, the brand was called Kiya Cosmetics. Earlier this year, I took the decision to change the name to House of Kiya. And I feel like that's just a testament to where I am with the brand. I feel like over the last almost 7 years, I've grown so much and I want that to reflect more in the brand as well. Up until this point, I have been basically a one-man band for the last 3 years or so. So in 2020, the business was doing really well. I think, COVID, Black Lives Matter movement, when people were really making a point to shop black, worked out well for us. And it just meant that we had so many eyes on the brand really early. We were getting so many orders. We got the attraction of Urban Outfitters, and they actually stocked us online for a period of time. So things moved so fast. And I think because they moved so fast and I was really inexperienced, it was my first time. This is my first ever business. I made a few mistakes and I got a warehouse. I got 4, 5 staff members in one go. And we were doing the thing, like we were model products in house, we were getting orders out really quickly, but it's just not sustainable when, well, it wasn't sustainable, I should say, when the world opened back up and people weren't online as much, people were going out, and then I was suddenly stuck with all of these overheads. It was crazy. That was really, really tough. I made the decision at the end of 2021, going into 2022, to scale back. I got rid of the warehouse. Some of the girls went on maternity. Some of the girls started uni. So I thought instead of replacing them, I'll just bring everything back in house and start again from scratch. And it was the right thing to do at the time, just based on the cards I was dealt. But it was pretty much the beginning of the end of that season of Kiya. It was really, really difficult to still keep up with the volume of orders that we were getting, product that needed to be manufactured weekly. It was just too much for one person, of course. Going from 5 hands to one, it was really, really difficult. So that's pretty much how Kiya's been functioning since then. Whenever there's been like a big like events or Black Friday, I've always been able to get people to come in and help. I've had someone help with socials, on, off and on, customer service, so like emails. But in terms of the daily running of the business, it's been me just manufacturing, labeling, packing, shipping. That's been really tough. So last year, I think I mentioned in the first video when I came back, there was just so much that went wrong last year that I was like, I've had enough. Like, I can't do it anymore. At the start of this year, when I found out the supplier was no longer going to be giving us the oils that we needed for the #1 hero product, I said, well, if that's not a sign, I don't know what else could be a sign that this is just not working. So I closed the website for a couple of months. Initially, when I first closed it, I was like, I feel so happy. I don't have to worry about getting orders out. I don't have to worry about restocking things or what's going on. I was just so happy to just have my brain back to myself. But it wasn't long before I started to miss, what had been such a huge part of my life for over 6 years. And I just didn't want it to go out the way it did, just disappearing into silence. So I quickly started to think, what could, like, if I brought the business back and what's not been working, what do I no longer want to have to deal with? Or, how do I change things in a way that it works for me moving forward? And that was what first sparked me picking back up conversations I'd had with a manufacturer that I'd been in talks with a few years ago. And initially they were going to, I think we had about 5 or 6 SKUs set up with them before I changed my mind and decided not to go ahead. So to bring it back, since November, from November, start of July, I was working at a cosmetic surgery clinic in Harley Street, and they did non-surgical treatments and also surgical treatment. But whilst I was there, I really got interested in some of the more premium treatments that they had for the skin specifically. So collagen boosting treatments, things that would lift and tighten the skin and brighten the skin, things that would help with hyperpigmentation. And my mind was blown actually, because I know a lot of the time there's quite a few Black owned brands, and we will have, you know, the shea butter, cocoa butter, different oils, castor oil, olive oil, coconut oil. We're very well versed in those types of ingredients and those types of things when it comes to our skin or our hair care, which all work really, really well. And that's been the basis of Kiya since day one. But it was nice to sort of see where we're not so in certain spaces and what they are doing. So in terms of, you know, the tech injectables that aren't, you know, filler, which I think when we think of injectables, that's where our mind goes. But there are a lot of treatments that are just purely for benefiting the skin and stimulating certain things in the skin to keep a nice youthful appearance or a glow. So I was really fascinated with what I was seeing there. And I thought, how can I bring these more premium ingredients, premium techniques into what I'm building? So when I was looking through, speaking with the manufacturer, I was really intentional about looking at ingredients that I hadn't explored before with Kiya. So I love to keep things as minimal as possible, not too many different ingredients and active. But what I really wanted this time was to push myself a bit more and see what we really could include that's still clean, but just a lot more targeted and intentional. Okay, that was just providing some broader context if you're not familiar with Kiya's story up until now. But I did go on the Instagram last week and I asked if anyone had any questions about the business and the brand. And most of the questions were about the Sweet Nourishing Oil, some of the other products that are no longer available, and asking about what's to come. So all of that to say, one of the products that we'll be launching in September will be a new body oil. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I wasn't planning on letting you guys know yet, but that was just one of the number one questions that was asked. It will be elevated. It will be delicious. It will be a lot more potent than the Sweet Nourishing Oil was. The scent of this one, oh my gosh. When I first got the sample, I said yes. I said 100% yes. I've taken my time to sort of select different ingredients that will be in this one that are a lot more targeted. And I just think you guys are really going to love it when she comes. Another question I got asked a lot was why I changed the name from Kiya Cosmetics to House of Kiya. So to be honest, I had wanted to change Kiya Cosmetics a few years ago, actually, just because I felt like the cosmetics was a bit misleading. I did, not very, very often, but I did get asked a few times if we sold makeup or what kinds of cosmetics. I just felt like it was a little bit confusing. So initially the plan was to just drop cosmetics and just be Kiya. But there's a few Kiyas and Kiya somethings out there. I felt like it needed something else. So I went for a few different names. Some that I really liked were taken already, and some just didn't quite hit the same. So when I thought of House of Kiya, I was like, it just clicked. I was like, yes, this feels premium. This feels intentional. This feels like where I see the brand going. And yeah, so far they've been good. You guys have liked it. And yeah, for me, it feels like this is the house that our Kiya world sits under, and I love it. So yeah, that's what sort of led to the name change. And I just felt like it was a good time coming back with something different. We're elevating the products that we have. The products that are coming are a lot more intentional and elevated and premium. So I thought it was a really good time to just make that change. And I feel like House of Kiya was just perfect. And it spoke perfectly to the chapter that we're entering now. Another question that I got asked was, will the Sweet One perfume be coming back? I'm so sad about this one because it took so long for me to take the plunge and get the perfume formulated. I was asked to make a perfume that smelled like the Sweet Nourishing Oil consistently for about 3 years minimum. And I was so excited when I finally got the formulation right. I finally got the packaging together. Loved it. The response was insane. I remember when it first went live on a website, and within like the first, say, 15 minutes, we'd already had about 30 sales just of the perfume. So I was like, wow, like they were really with this. But unfortunately, because the scent is the same, it's made up of the ingredients from the Sweet Nourishing Oil. That's what I formulated myself to get the fragrance. I can't bring that back either. And yeah, that's it really me, just because number one, the Sweet Nourishing Oil clearly was a favorite. It was a hero product for a reason. You guys all loved it. I loved it. My family members are asking me like, but do you like not have it at all? Like you don't have it at home? I'm like, no. And some of my customers have told me that they still have some. I don't at all. But I've been using the new product that's coming soon. I don't know if we would go ahead with another perfume in the future. Never say never, but as for the sweet one, she is unfortunately not coming back either. Also leads me on to some of the skincare products. So our skincare products have never been super popular. And what I wanted for House of Kiya moving forward was for everything to be there for a reason. So the reason why I kept the shea butters is because that's hands down been our second bestseller throughout. You know, it was not before the oil came, and it's still here. It's number one now. So that they were going nowhere. The hair strengthening oil, for me, that's like the soul of Kiya. After I lost my edges after my third pregnancy, and I put together that formulation, that has not changed at all in the 6.5 years. I have not done anything to that formulation. I've changed the name only from hair growth oil to hair strengthening oil. I just feel like that's such an OG product, like it couldn't go. And then it pairs so well with hydrating hair mist. So that's why I kept those two. Moving forward, I'm not 1000% sure we'll be exploring more hair care products. Certainly not initially. I really want to focus on targeted body care. When I first launched a brand in 2019, I launched with 4 products. I launched with the hair strengthening oil, the hydrating hair mist, the whipped shea butter, and the African black soap. So I just felt like at least 3 of the 4 original products had to stay. The African black soap, unfortunately, will not be coming back. Now, that one was a headache because I've gone through so many suppliers. I initially was getting it direct from Ghana. Then I had a third party based in the UK. Then I went back to Ghana, then back to a different third party. And every single time I had to change suppliers, the price was just going up and up and up. And to be quite frank, for the last, I would say, 1.5 years, I've been making a loss on the African black soap bar. I kept it because it's the best quality I could find. I didn't want to go cheaper just for the sake, and then it's not as good, or it's dry, it's more drying or not as natural. So that's why that's not coming back. It wasn't really making financial sense. Another question I got was, will we be doing any more events? Now, to be honest, that's one of my favorite parts with running my own brand, is having community events. Last year, I think we did 3. I feel like we did 3. The collab event with Body by EXO, and then we did the Kiya Convos brunch event. We were supposed to do an event in September for our birthday, but that didn't end up going ahead. So we did 2 last year. They were really good. I love events. I don't see us doing it this year, but by God's grace, when the relaunch is fully in go and the new products have arrived and we're back up and running properly, I think we'll definitely look into doing more events, because I do love meeting you guys, and it's always good having conversations in person and answering your questions in person. So yeah, for sure. In the same vein, I got asked if we will be bringing back Kiya Convos, and I did mention that, I think in the previous video, that I do intend to bring it back, but not anytime soon. So that was about it in terms of the questions that I was asked. I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, but other than that, take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.